My name is Taylor, and I'm here to discuss changes in the music industry, mainly due to the internet. Before the internet came along, you would actually have to go into the store and buy the actual copy of the record via CD, vinyl, or cassette tapes. The other way to listen to music is radio, but radio hasn't really changed since radio became a thing, really. So now it's the way that we listen to music now is through streaming devices like YouTube, SoundCloud, or Spotify online. And there was this huge gap between the streaming devices that people put up their music to buying CDs, and in between was these processors that allowed people to illegally download music. And that was like the main thing that was wrong with this whole change. And that record labels' main interest was money, obviously, but they lost a lot of money through this process from like going from actual physical copies of the album to streaming devices. Because people were able to access this music for free, people took advantage of that completely, and the music industry lost $4.3 billion. And there was this association called Recording Industry Associations of America, and their main mission was to go to these processors and shut them down. There was the main processor that allowed people to share music illegally was Napster, and so people would download the copies of the music off the CD and upload it to Napster and file share it with other people. And so like their main mission, like the Recording Industry Associations of America was trying to shut down any kind of system that would like influence people to illegally download music. My personal experience with that was through LimeWire, and so like I remember having to download the processor and have a separate app on my desktop to where I could download music, search a song, code it a little bit, download it, and then I could upload it to my iTunes library. Obviously, completely illegal. I never got in trouble for it, but like I did it on a daily basis. And I knew so many other people that were doing it, so I justified it that way. Another instance was, another one was Napster, and Napster like influenced people to do it. It portrayed more of like a legal thing because you had to pay for a subscription on Napster, but essentially it was still illegal because like it was downloaded music through Napster. They like owned the music. I don't know. I don't really want to get into that. But during this time, from streaming devices, from CDs, actual copies to streaming devices, the laws of the government just like couldn't keep up with any of these changes and the advancements that the internet was making, because it was so fast. It was like in 20 years, and like the government doesn't work that fast. We all know that, right? So like it just left all these consumers and producers to do as they please through the internet. And before that, like we were completely controlled by what kind of music we were listening to, because the record labels would sign musicians, the only musicians that they thought that would generate a large revenue, because they cared about money. But now the internet gave the chance for musicians to become an independent artist and make their own niche market, and to like and generate a revenue through that, through like touring and merchandise. selling their own merchandise, and that's the only way that they can make their music these days. I mean, that's the only way that they can generate a profit these days. And from record labels to having an independent artist on the internet, it's made the relationship a lot more personable. It's just like it's completely disintegrated all the detours that you would have to take in order to get to the artist. Now it's like one click, you can go to their personal Instagram page and like find out what they're going to post next, like what kind of song, like what song they're going to post next in the next couple of days, because they're like leaving hints, or what their life looks like, right? And now you can decide what kind of artists you like by like what kind of lifestyle they live, and you can completely see into their lives. There are some artists out there that actually sell their CDs to generate a revenue. Adele and Taylor Swift are the only two that I know of, because they have so many followers that like they actually wanted to make a serious profit, like of millions of dollars. And they can do that because people care about their music so much that people still go out and buy the actual CD. And these two artists, Adele and Taylor Swift, make it to where you have to go buy the CD in order to listen to it for like the first month after a release. And then it's released onto the streaming devices. So all this change has left consumers and producers completely defenseless to the change. And that's an example of mass society theory. Changes in the music industry happened so rapidly, the government and society lost complete control, and like now it's just a complete mayhem of do whatever you want to, make whatever you want to, upload whatever you want to, and try and make something of yourself. But now artists, any kind of artist can be something. Like anyone can make it, you know. Beforehand, the record labels decided who was going to make it and who wasn't going to make it, but now because of the internet. And that's one positive attribute to all the changes that have been made. That was my presentation. Thank you.